Welcome to MTB Yoga Express. Go ahead and bring your eyes down to a close or soften your gaze. Be in a seated position that's comfortable for your body. So cross-legged here like us, or you can come to a kneeling position. This opening posture should be comfortable in the body so that the mind can begin to quieten. Your attention comes to the sound of your breath. The sound of your breath as you breathe in and as you breathe out. Let the tongue drop away from the roof of the mouth. The eyes recede more deeply into their sockets. And we'll begin our practice with a breath that invites stillness to the mind. So I'd like you to exhale fully now. Then inhale. At the top of the inhale, pause for a moment and then exhale. Pause at the base of the exhale for a moment. Inhale. Repeating that momentary pause between the breaths. Noticing the stillness that resides in that pause between the inhale and exhale. The next time you exhale, let that be your last and come back to a natural rhythm of breath. As you inhale next, let the eyes blink open. Raise the arms to the ceiling, to the sky, look up. Bring the palms together and the palms come down to the chest. Just repeating that flow. Breathing in, you lift up, reach up. And as you exhale, press the heel of the hands together. Feel broadness across the chest. Chest, the pecs. Inhale, lift up. So you feel contraction through the muscles as you exhale. Length through the sides of the waist, the arms, the armpits as you inhale. Opposing forces between opening and contracting. The next time you inhale, reach up, pause. Exhale, bring your left arm to the right thigh and right arm to the left. So follow my cues rather than what you see. We're not going to mirror you this morning, or otherwise it could end up in mayhem. You're going to draw your chin down and towards the chest and rock the hips back. As you inhale, rock the hips forwards, look up, raise the right arm, reach up. Exhale, sweep the arm behind you, looking out across the back, fingertips coming into your first twist. Glide the back shoulder blade down and away from the ear. As you inhale, reach the arm up. Exhale, it comes down to the opposite thigh. Chin to chest, roll the hips back. Inhale, hips roll forwards, look up. Left arm reaches up, make space through the side body. Exhale, twist back, look back. And now notice if you're leaning back with the upper body, and if you are, bring the shoulders and stack them over the hips. Inhale, reach the arm up. Exhale, bring it down. Same thing, opposite side. Inhale, reach up, twist back. Feel that that twist comes right from the navel, up into the ribs, the collarbones, the neck follows. Exhale to ease the tension out of the neck. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, chin to chest, rock the hips back. Inhale, rock the hips forwards, look up. Left arm lifts. Exhale, sweep it back. Can you make a little more space between that back shoulder and the base of the earlobe? Inhale, reach up. Exhale. You're going to take one more either side. Right arm lifts. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last side. As you inhale, look up, look forwards, uncross the arms, bring them down on the mat in front of you. We're going to come to a tabletop position. So ideally we're looking for wrist creases under shoulders, but if that doesn't work for you, bring them a little bit ahead. Knees underneath the hips and tuck the toes under. Pressing into the balls of the feet to activate. So notice how the thighs, the quadriceps, the buttocks, the glutes engage just from that pressure through the balls of the feet. Reach your right arm forwards, the fingertips are on the mat. As you inhale, reach the arm up as high as it will go, thumb facing ceiling. Now as you exhale, sweep the arm behind you, turning the palm out to the side of the room. Keep it there, the fingertips come down and tap the floor. Palm is in, thumb is down. Inhale, reach the arm up, and only when you have to do you turn the palm in towards your ear and drop the fingertips down to the floor. Carrying on with that flow, the arms stay straight. Try and keep the hips level and just work through that rotation in the shoulder. Each time you inhale, the arm comes forwards, and as you exhale, you take the arm back. Noticing where the body has to compensate for perhaps a lack of movement, lack of mobility in that shoulder. This time, inhale, bring the arm all the way up. Exhale, take it back. It's our last one. Good. Inhale, bring it forward. You're going to bring that hand to the back of the head. So focusing on your left arm now. Is it possible for you to push the shoulder blade up towards the ceiling? And then as you exhale, sink that shoulder blade down towards the floor. Inhale, you push up. So you're trying to keep the body, the front body, level with the floor and just working into these scapular push-ups. Taking two more. Good. Make that your last. Good. Bring that hand on the back of the head to the low back of the hand to the low back. You're going to push your forearm down towards the floor so the knee bends back towards the hips, and then inhale, push up. Good. Trying to keep the hips level so the arm works gently to release towards the floor. Taking two more. This next one's our last. Good. Coming back up, shoulder over wrist. Now, is it possible for you to keep the forefingers on the floor and just lift the heel of the hand and the thumb? Pressing into the forefingers, exhale, the palm comes down. Taking two more of these, inhaling, good, and exhale. So our last one. Really nice. You're going to sit back on the feet, feet are flat. Bring the hands together, interlace fingers and thumbs, and release the wrists. So one of my lovely students, Amy, teaches pole, and she has a really cool little body popping thing she does with this. I'm not going to embarrass myself and show you. Perhaps you can try that at home. You're going to interlace the fingers the opposite way, so the opposite first finger on top, and then roll again. Okay, we're going to do that on the opposite side this time. So come back into that box position. Wrist creases under shoulders or a little way ahead, tuck the toes under. Press into balls of feet to activate legs. Left arm comes forward, fingertips on the floor. Inhale, so the thumbs facing ceiling. Inhale, reach the arm up. When you can't reach anymore, turn the palm out to the side of the room. Sweep the arm back, the thumb is now pointing down, the palm is facing in towards your thigh. Inhale, reach up. When you have to, turn the palm in so the thumb is on the top. Good. Working through those shoulder rotations and seeing if you can become a little bit more curious about where you're finding that range of movement challenging. Being really aware in the body. So if you're a regular rider, you're probably going to have picked up some injuries along the way, taken a few knocks here and there. Shoulders, collarbones, really common areas to pick up those injuries. So not uncommon for this to be quite challenging. I'm going to bring that hand to the back of the head now. Okay, so we're working into those scapular push-ups. So you're trying to push that shoulder blade up to the ceiling and then sink the shoulder blade down to the floor. So it's not coming from the low back, it's coming from the upper body. Good. Arms stay straight, lock the elbow out. And your left elbow stays nice and high in line with the shoulder. Make this our last. Let's bring the hand to the back of the spine, and this time dropping that right elbow towards the right knee, forearm to the floor. Inhale, you push up. Good. Notice whether the hips are rocking off to one side as the forearm lowers. Try and keep the hips level. It's kind of harder than it looks. Okay, here's our last one. Palm raises, so fingers stay down, palms and thumb lift. Just 3 of these. Exhale, you press down. Inhale to lift. Okay, that's our last. Alright. Sit back on your heels. Bring the backs of the hands together. Press the backs of the hands in and then elbows down. Breathing here. Take the hands down and bring the hands forwards. Spread the fingers and thumbs wide. So keeping the feet flat on the floor, you're just going to push your weight back. So you're going to send your glutes, your buttocks to your heels, push the floor away. Inhale, come forward, shoulders over wrists. Tuck the toes under. Exhale, push glutes towards heels. They might touch, they might not. You're alternating. Inhale, shoulders over wrists, untuck toes, glutes to heels. You're just working into some flexion and extension into feet and toes. And next time you tuck the toes under, that'll be your last. Okay, keep the toes tucked under, release the hands, bring them up to the chest, knees a little closer together. If your knees are sensitive, so mine are, you might want to prop something under the knees here. You're going to come up to a high kneeling position, toes are tucked, and then sink the glutes down to the heels. So noticing that increase of pressure into the feet. Just coming up, press the hips forwards, squeeze glutes, exhale. Good. This next one's going to be our last. Good. Untuck the toes, bring them flat to the floor. And we're just going to rock the weight side to side, so rocking over the tops of the feet. The further you rock your hips to the sides, the more intense that feeling's going to become. One more either side. Tuck the toes back under. Reach the arms out in front of you. Fold the baby finger and then each finger down to the palm. Couldn't think what the palm was called. Thumb on top. Draw the knuckles down. Good. Really press the arm bones away. Lengthen through the tops of the forearms. You're going to circle the palms or the fists in towards each other. And out and away. Really nice. Shoot the fingers out in front of you. Is it possible for you to come back over the toes and into a little crouch position? Good. All right, bring the hands to the chest, palms together. Gently lower the knees down to the floor. We're going to step our right knee forwards. Prop that back knee if you need or want to. Good. Bringing the hands to the chest, back toes are still tucked. So hands come to the hips now, draw the pelvis up strongly towards you. As you draw the pelvis up, you're going to feel the, I can't think what they're called, hip flexors lengthening through the back heel. The more you drive the coccyx, the base of the tailbone down, the more you're going to increase that stretch. Inhale, raise the arms and lift up through the baby finger side of the arms to extend that stretch all the way down through the waist and into the hip. As you exhale, you're going to turn your body towards the bent knee and then open the arms, thumbs facing ceiling or sky. Reach right from the breastbone, the center of your chest. As you inhale, reach the arms up, keep that twist, and then come all the way back to center. I'm going to do that again. Exhale, twist first, then open the arms. Inhale, reach the arms up, and then come to center. Good. Moving with that flow, I want you to keep squeezing through the glutes on that back leg. Keep drawing the coccyx down towards the floor. Coming into the last two. So our last exhale here. Reach out through the hands. Inhale. Good. Really nice. Bring the hands all the way back down to the chest. We're going to come up off the back knee into a high lunge. So keep the back toes tucked, raise the back knee. Good, bring the hands to the hips. Let the back knee soften to draw the pelvis up. Yeah, good. And now try and lengthen through the back heel. Reach your arms out in front of you with the palms facing up. Squeeze the elbows into the waist. So I want you to feel the biceps working here. Try and keep the elbows really close to you, palms facing directly up. And now exhale, externally rotate the arms out to the sides of the room. Inhale, bring them in, just to the width of your ribs. Moving with that flow. So it feels like you have resistance bands on your arms. You're working with contraction through the biceps, a little bit into the shoulders and triceps as you exhale. It's going to be our last exhale here. We'll bring the hands back to the chest, lower back knee all the way down to the floor. Is it possible for you here to float the front foot off of the mat and bring that knee down side by side? Good. Squeeze the glutes, press the feet into the mat, so toes tucked. Left knee is going to lift. We're hovering that foot, seeing if we can maintain that balance, single leg balance. Do so much of this when we're riding. We're going to step that foot gently forwards. Good. Hands to hips. Lift the pelvis. Lengthen through the hip flexors. Inhale, lift. Good. Make space through the sides of the waist, the ribs, intercostal muscles between the ribs, opening those up. Exhale, turn the body to the bent leg. Open the thumbs to the ceiling of the sky. Inhale, reach up, look forwards. Good. 4 more of those. So your job here is to try and keep stability and strength through the lower body as you move through flexibility in the upper body. Try and keep the tension out of the shoulders, particularly as the arms raise. Maintaining that space between the shoulders and the ears. I have lost count, so I'm going to make that my last. If you've got more to go, take that last one now. Reach the arms out in front of you. This time palms down. Good. Draw the arms back until the elbows are in line with the shoulders. Good. Try and maintain elbows lifted as you push the palms down and back. Inhale, push the back of the hands up and back. Good. Working through that range of motion, noticing the difference between the two shoulders. So for me, left shoulder, lots of cricking, popping, not necessarily a good thing, but definitely feels good to be moving it. Let's make this our last. Good. As the arms come up, this time turn the palms in towards each other, thumbs to ceiling or sky. Lead with the baby finger, exhale, push the arms back and down. Be really conscious of where the elbows are. You want them in line with the shoulders as much as you can. Make this our last. And then shake the arms out. Bring the hands back to the chest. We're going to float that front knee to meet the back knee. So how long can you float here? I know I'm at home, my MTB yoga guys like a challenge, so I feel like Kate's probably going to win this one. Okay, and take it back. All right. We're going to roll back, glutes to heels, and into that crouch position. So heels are lifted, glutes are, I won that one. Down with the heels. All right. We're going to come up to stand. We're going to try and keep the heels lifted. Nice and slow. Let's fire up the quadriceps. Rising up to a standing position. Heels are lifted. Nice and slow. Come on up. Keep those heels lifted. Good. Once the heels are lifted and you're up to standing, reach the arms up. And exhale. Sink the hips down. Release the arms. Good. Come up towards the top of the mat, please. Feet hip width apart. Lift and spread the toes. You're going to have a go at lowering just the big toes. Just the big toes. Lift those and lower just the little toes. Lift those. Lower just the big toe. And then can you lower each toe sequentially? Probably no. Good. Lift the toes. Little toe lowers. And then each toe sequentially. Bring the arms up. I'd like you to make stop signs. So wrist creases are in line with the shoulders. Spread the fingers and thumbs really wide. Good. Press through the heel of the hands. You're going to keep your hip bones facing forwards, your ribs facing forwards, and simply twist over to your left hand side. So that means you're going to need to anchor the right hip away from the direction in which you're twisting. Inhale brings you to center, and exhale takes you the other way. So the feeling is a little bit like wringing out a wet rag, because the hips are pulling back in the opposite direction to which the upper body is twisting to try and keep the pelvis in position. Working into a deep thoracic, middle of the back spinal twist, that area that gets really tight from that attack position that we use when we're riding. We come back to center, bring the hands down by your side. Bring the feet together, glue the heels together. We're going to come up onto tiptoes. Come as high as you can. Keep the left hand down by your thigh, raise the right hand up to the ceiling. Reach up tall. As you exhale, we're going to take a side bend over to the left, trying to keep the bicep in line with the ear. Inhale, bring two arms up to center, and then exhale, take that the opposite way. Noticing whether the body wants to tip forwards and resisting that sensation. So you might imagine that the body is between two planes of glass, so you have to keep the body in one straight line. The next time you come to your right, that'll be your last. The heels are still lifted. Lower, all the way down, almost made it. Okay, coming into our sun salute. So feet can be together or apart. I find for most mountain bikers it feels more stable for us to be apart. If you ride a lot, you're most likely to have a slightly external rotation through the kneecaps. I want you to try and get all 5 toes facing forwards. It might be a compromise between the two, and that's okay. Bring the hands to the chest. Press the heel of the hands in, feel expansion across the breastbone. Inhale, raise the arms up. Keep the arms wide, shrug the shoulders down. As you exhale, soften the knees, lead with the fingertips. You're going to fold to a halfway point until your belly runs parallel to the floor. Now bring the hands all the way down. Hamstrings are likely to be tight for us mountain bikers, so soften those knees. Let the fingertips and the thumbs touch. Relax the chin to chest. As you inhale, slide the hands up the shins, heel of hands under kneecaps, straighten the legs. Now I want you to try and lengthen the chest forwards and flatten the back. Imagine there's a tray of drinks on your back and you don't want to spill anything from those glasses. Exhale, bring the hands to the floor, knees soften, chin to chest. Inhale, 2 straight legs, reach the arms out wide, up high, shoulder distance apart, and then exhale, bring the hands down by your side. Good. Inhale, bring the hands to the chest. Press the heel of the hands in, broaden across the front body. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, soften the knees, lead with the fingertips, open the backs of the thighs, come all the way down. Hands must touch the floor, so soften the knees as much as you need to. Shin to chest. Inhale, straighten the legs, hands to shins, lengthen the body forwards. Exhale to fold. Inhale, 2 straight legs, reach the arms out wide, up high, shrug the shoulders down, and then exhale the hands to the thighs. Good, we're going to take that a bit further this time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, soft knees fold, fingertips reach towards me, bring them all the way down to the floor. Hands touch down, chin to chest. Inhale, hands to shins, straight legs, halfway lift. This time soften the knees, bring the hands to the floor. Step one leg back, bring the other down. We're in plank pose, shoulders over wrists. Push the heels back, lengthen the collarbones forwards. We're going to lower all the way down to the floor. You can use the knees if you need to. Good. Untuck the toes. Let the hands just come off the floor, so skim them off the mat. Squeeze the elbows to the heels and peel the ribs off the floor. I want you to look down and forwards, long neck. As you exhale, press into the hands, tuck the toes, push your glutes to your heels, straighten your legs, lift your sit bones to the ceiling for downward facing dog. Again, for tight hamstrings, soften up the knees. When you soften the knees, it allows the sit bones to lift and we get a better stretch through the backs of the legs, the hamstrings, calves, the Achilles, the heels. Breathing here. Inhale, look forwards. Come up onto the fingertips. Roll your shoulders over the wrists. Bring one knee up in towards your chest. Step it forwards, followed by the other. So a little rock to bring you forwards. 2 feet side by side, hands to shins, straight legs, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, straight legs, rise up. This time exhale, bring the palms together, draw them down to the chest. We're going to do that all again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back to your plank. Use the exhale to lower. Inhale, cobra, light hands, strong back. Exhale, tuck toes, push glutes back to heels. Rise on up. Downward facing dog. One breath in. And one breath out. Inhale, come up onto fingertips. Roll shoulders over wrists, step forwards. Halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale to rise, reach the arms up. Exhale, bring the hands to the chest. Take a breath in. And take a breath out. Bring your feet together. You're going to sit down as if you're sitting on a child's bicycle seat, so really low, and reach the fingertips down to the floor. Sweep your arms up until the inner arms are framing your ears. Now lift your sit bones, the bones underneath the glutes. Imagine they're headlights of a car and shine them directly behind you. You're going to scoop that navel up to spine. As you inhale, lift your body until you're looking directly forwards. Chin is lifted, gaze is lifted. Drive your tailbone down and under, so that coccyx moves down to the floor. So this pose is called awkward pose. It's very true. Maintain that squeeze of the inner thighs together. Breathing here. 3, 2, 1. Straighten the legs. Bring the hands to the chest. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. You're going to raise the left leg and take a short step back, landing on the toes if you can. Bring your hands to your hips. You're going to come into a 90-90 lunge. So you're going to just test it out now. So as you lunge, you want the front knee to be over the ankle and the back knee to be under the hip. Good. When you're happy with that distance, 2 straight legs, arms reach to the sky, to the ceiling. Good. Exhale, lower the back knee. The aim is not to come to the floor. The aim is to maintain that 90-degree angle, particularly back knee under hip as you lower. Working into good hip flexor stretch. Each time you inhale, squeeze the back glutes. Exhale. Good. This next exhale, we're going to hold it. drive the knee down, tuck the coccyx, the tailbone under, for 3, 2, and 1. Push up. You're going to float the back leg off the floor. Keep the arms and that left leg lifted, and you're going to move your body in as many directions as possible, trying to maintain the balance in your standing leg. So I want you to imagine you are riding down the gnarliest bit of trail you could possibly find. Slippery routes, techie conditions, and your only point of contact on your bike is this one foot. Everything else is moving. Okay. From here, bring the hands to the chest. Keep that left knee lifted. You can take a long stride back, long stride, landing on the toes. Good. Lunge in the front knee, hands to pelvis, draw the pelvis up, soften the back knee. Good, now lengthen the back knee away to try and straighten that leg without losing the pelvis. Hands to the chest. Inhale. Exhale. On this next exhale, tip and lengthen your body forwards. Bring your left elbow to either tap the knee or bring it over that right thigh. Trying to keep the thumbs at the chest. Looking down at the toes if balance is an issue, or looking out to the side wall if balance allows. Bring 2 hands down to the floor, step back, downward facing dog. Little bend in the knees to allow the sit bones to lift. See if it's possible for you to broaden the collarbones out to the sides of the room, pressing more firmly into thumb and first finger. Inhale, look forward, walk, step or jump to the top of the mat. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bring the feet together. Sink your seat down onto that little imaginary bicycle seat, nice and low. Arms reach up, biceps in line with ears. Slight lift of the sit bones, lengthening fingertips. Now on your inhale, open the chest, drive the tailbone, the coccyx down. Gaze is lifted, throat is open. Squeeze inner thighs together. Inhale, 2 straight legs, hands to the chest. Breathing in. And breathing out. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, short step back, landing on the toes. Bring the hands to the pelvis. Draw the pelvis up using the hands. And then find your 90-90 angle. So as you lunge, front knee over ankle, back knee under hip. When you're happy there, come on up, 2 straight legs. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, keep the body upright, shoulders over hips as you lower back knee towards the floor, squeezing glutes. Inhale, lift and squeeze. So the temptation here is just to feel that that knee has to come to the floor. It's actually better for you to keep that knee lifted, floating, working into the pose. This next time we exhale, we're going to pause and hold. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, come up, float the back leg, working into that range of movement in the upper body, the lifted leg. So playing with that idea of moving from stillness into chaos. no right or wrong. Luckily for you guys, no one can see you. This is forever going to be immortalized on YouTube for us. Bring the hands to the chest. So long step back this time. Landing on the toes. Hands to pelvis. Draw the pelvis up. Let the back knee soften. Front knee over ankle. Exhale, lengthen the back heel away from you. Inhale, hands to the chest. As you inhale, tip from the pelvis, so really lengthen, push the back heel away from you, and then take that twist, right elbow, left knee or left thigh. Gazing down at the toes or out to the side of the room. Draw that left thigh crease back ever so slightly, micro movement. Exhale, look down, release the hands to the floor, step back, downward facing dog. Look back at the heels and just turn the heels until they're directly behind the toes. Notice how that might change the work for you in the calves, the knees, even up into the hips and the glutes. Raise your right leg up to the sky, the ceiling, and then immediately bend the knee. Hug it towards your belly. I want you to imagine there's a crown on the kneecap and draw me big, even circles. Keep the weight even in the arms. Opposite direction. And release that leg to the mat. And then inhale, raise the left leg, bend the knee, and draw those circles. Weight in the arms stays equal, opposite direction with the knee. Yeah, bring that leg down. Release the knees to the floor. Sit back on your heels. Bring the hands onto the thighs, close the eyes down or find a soft gaze. Come back to that breath we started with. Inhale, find the pause at the top. Exhale, find that pause at the bottom. 2 more of those breaths, please. Finding that stillness in the pause. Blink the eyes open. Sweep the legs out in front of you. You're going to grab your block or equivalent. So I'm using a book. We're really struggling for props out here. Kate's got her camelback mug. Basically, you want something firm and solid that you can bring between the hands and squeeze. Okay, soles of the feet are on the mat, hip width apart, and you're going to come all the way down onto your back, bringing your piece of equipment with you. Let the head settle on the mat. Slight tuck of the chin down towards the chest. Scoot forwards. Squeeze the block bring the block down between the elbows. I'm going to show you with Kate. So you're going to bring that block between the elbows. You're going to reach the hands over as far back as you can away from the head and try and touch those fingertips down onto the floor. You're going to keep her ribs planted down on the floor. They want to lift. Now as she inhales, she's going to bring the arms back up. And as she exhales, she's going to do the same thing again, really keeping those ribs glued down towards the mat. Good. Just inhaling and exhaling there. And now each time she reaches, she's going to start to bring the fingertips closer towards the head. You're going to do the same. So it's a gradual movement. Ribs are connected, they're reaching down to the mat. And you're noticing where it's more challenging for you, with the fingertips further away from the head or with the fingertips closer towards the head. Good. And then come back to the position that's most challenging for you. You're going to take 3 more repetitions there. The exhale sends the fingertips over towards the mat. Don't let those ribs flare and lift. Try and think about the backs of the shoulder blades pressing firmly down. Everybody rides a scooter here, it's so noisy. And then releasing that work there. Bring your block down by the side of you. Keep the soles of the feet on the mat. You're going to cross your right ankle over your left thigh. I'm going to give you lots of options here because hips tend to be very tight for us riders. So you're going to stay here if that's enough and just press your right hand into your right thigh, externally rotating the thigh flesh away from you. If you want to increase that, you're going to lift your left foot off the floor and bring both legs towards you. Take your left hand to the right heel, so that bent leg heel. Right hand to the right thigh. Now draw the heel towards you and externally rotate that thigh flesh away from you. Noticing how the stretch feels here. Both shoulder blades are equally pressing into the mat. Back of the head is long. If there's a little more, right hand posts through the space between the legs. Both hands wrap around the back of the left thigh. Draw the legs in towards you and use the right arm to ease the right thigh out and away. Whatever variation you've taken there, you're going to breathe here for 5 breaths. You might find after a couple of breaths you can deepen the stretch. If the body starts to tremble, it means you're working too hard. The muscles are actually contracting rather than releasing and you're not working into the stretch anymore. Find a place where you can relax into that opening. And you come into that 5th exhale, uncross the legs, set 2 feet down onto the mat, let the back settle. Bring the left ankle to the right thigh. Don't assume it's going to feel the same on the both sides. It definitely doesn't for me, so try each variation. So here, hand to thigh, left hand to left thigh. More, bring the legs towards you. Left hand, left thigh, right hand to that left heel. Pushing the thigh away, drawing the heel towards you. Bringing the legs in towards you. If there's more, wrapping both arms behind the right thigh, using left forearm to left thigh to open into the stretch. You can work to lengthen the coccyx, the tailbone down towards the floor to increase the stretch. Keep chin tucked, so breathing here. Exhale, release. Uncross. Bring the feet onto the mat. feet together, knees together. You're going to bring your hips just an inch over to the left side of your mat. And let both knees drop to the right side of your mat. Keep the knees glued together. Knees stacking on top of each other. You're making right angle on the underside of your knees. So position your shins so they're running parallel to the long edge of your mat. Now reach your arms out so your right wrist is in line with your right shoulder and the left hand is on the right palm. Head is on the floor. Keep those knees stacked over each other. As you exhale, glide the left hand along the right forearm across the chest until the left hand is on the shoulder. If you can stretch that left arm out without the knees moving, then continue to open the arms into a full T-shape. You'll repeat that 4 more times. So as you inhale, left hand to left shoulder, glides across the chest, the arm finds the palm. As you exhale, you open, watch the knees, keep them stacked, and then the head follows the left fingertips. Trying to relax that left shoulder blade down to the floor. You open into T-shaped, try and relax that left shoulder. And come to the 5th. Exhale. Bring that hand back onto the waist. Let yourself roll over onto your back. Bring 2 hands to the belly, feet to the floor. Just take a moment to settle the back onto the mat. Bring the feet together, knees together, hips an inch to the right side of the mat. Let the knees come over to the left. Stack the knees on top of each other. Shins are running parallel to the long edge of the mat. Left arm extended, wrist crease in line with shoulder, right palm on the top of the left hand. Relax the head. Gliding that hand across the arm, across the chest. Let the hand find the shoulder and relax that right shoulder blade down toward the floor. Deciding whether you have enough mobility to open the arm so the arms are in full T-shape. Gazing towards that outstretched hand. Come back to the shoulder, across the chest. Cross the arm back to the palm, watching the fingertips as they go. 4 more repetitions. You're watching the fingertips the whole time. Your last one. As the 2 palms land on top of each other, pause there. Bring the top hand to the waist, roll onto your back. Feet hip width apart, hands on the belly. Walk the feet out so they're as wide as the mat, let the knees roll into one another. Keep the hands on the belly, broaden the shoulders, close the eyes down. Come back to that opening breathing practice one last time. So breathing in, finding the pause at the top of the inhale. Exhale, finding the pause at the base of that exhale. continuing that breathing practice. Soften the jaw. Relax the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. You stay here in this breathing practice a while longer, or join me back in seated by hugging the knees back in towards you. Wrap and squeeze. Rock the hips side to side. Come over onto your right hand side. All the way back to seated. Keep the eyes closed for a moment longer. Bring the palms to the chest, press the heel of the hands in towards each other. Just take a moment to notice how the body feels after your practice. Thank you for your practice. Namaste.